Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Your Mark on the World show. I'm your host, Devin Thorpe, and today's episode is produced for GoodCrowd.info, and our guests are Rajiv and Jeannine Srivastava, who are the founders of Fairfundr. Rajiv and Jeannine, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello.
We're so glad you take the time to join us all the way from Switzerland. Tell us about Fairfundr.
Yeah, so Fairfundr is a crowdfunding platform, and the creators get to keep 100% of the funds they raise. There is no threshold, and we provide marketing campaign management support throughout the campaign, and we encourage our creators to do multiple campaigns, and as rewards they give what they have today. So it's not based on sometime in the future people will get something, it's based on what they have at the time of the end of the campaign.
Very good. So give us some specific examples of the kinds of people that you are hoping will or are using your site now.
We are really targeted at creative people, musicians, artists, artisans, but as well as social entrepreneurs, the people who want to make an impact on society in the world, and they need to raise funds in order to back up their causes.
Great. So do you have some people on the platform already right now?
Yes, if we go on Fairfundr.com, there are different campaigns which are running. There are Stage, which is an initiative by Dr. Malika Sarbai. She wants to stop violence against women, as well as we have a musician. Is trying to create his album for his new album in Bombay, as well as many others campaigns, the creation,
so we have
funding.
Aditi Thakur. She is going to be doing her first film, and she is in the process of raising $400,000 for her campaign, for her film. And we, of course, want to make sure that this is the beginning. So our goal is that in the next 100 days, we plan to have 100 more campaigns.
On the World Show, I'm your host, Devin Thorpe, and today's episode is produced for GoodCrowd.info, and our guests are Rajiv and Jeannine. Sorry, guys. Keep going. Rajiv, keep going.
Okay, great. So that was amazing. So there you go. That's our story.
So Rajiv, you got the site up. She's raising $400,000 for her film. What is she using as rewards today?
Well, the rewards are, so she's making a film on puppets. Now these puppets already exist. This is an ancient art form, and the puppeteers actually came from one part of India, and then they moved to another state called Rajasthan, and then to Gujarat. So she's going to use these puppets as rewards, and these are you can have custom-made puppets. So you can have Mr. Thorpe puppet, you know.
Oh, I see. I see. Very cool. Very clever. So from the standpoint then of the woman who's making the CD, what is she going to offer as a reward?
Yeah, so we have Sahil Makheja, for example. He is going to be doing his solo album, and he has got it all sorted out. I mean, he has been in the business for 15 years. He has been writing for that time, performing in 3 bands. So for him to go to a studio and to record it is not such a big deal. So he'll be very quickly, his turnaround time is going to be very quick. And in fact, he'll be offering CD boxes as well as T-shirts. And then he can do campaigns around his music. So he can do a small concert, a private concert for the people who are rewarding, who are pledging.
So some of the distinctions with Kickstarter, the big crowdfunding site here, are that you allow people to keep the money they raise, regardless of how little money they raise. But when you say people get to keep 100%, what about fees?
Yeah, so the person who is making the donation or who is giving the backing is the one paying the credit card fees. And the other distinction, of course, is we are providing a campaign management service. So we have a digital agency which has been functioning for a while, and we have been working with major clients. And these clients pay us a lot of money for campaign management services. So what we wanted to do was provide these services not at a cost, but almost based on performance. So if we are raising a lot of money for someone, and that person, as a result, is able to then turn around and perhaps hire us in the future, that'll be great. But what we want to do is give these services based on the fact that the person has a project which is going to make the world a better place.
Very good, very good. So give me just a little bit of an example of how the campaign management services work. Give us just a taste of what that's like.
Yeah, so a lot of people who come to us, they sit down with Jeannine and they have an idea, and then Jeannine does the magic.
Yeah, so the idea is for a campaign journey, sometimes some campaigns are too broad. What we want to do is we scope the project to make sure that we focus on different campaigns, and then we create the campaign itself by looking at the content, work directly with the creator in order to look at the different rewards you can provide to the person. And for a lot of people, it is the first time actually. Some of them are creating for the first time a crowdfunding campaign. So once you do the creation process, after that we have to follow with them every week in order to see how the campaign is deployed around the world, because this is much more an international campaign. It's not just local. The idea is really a lot of the people who are on the platform have an international cause, like fight against women violence, or creating a movie, or creating some music. A lot of people have an international audience, so we do the touch tap. But most of the ideas come from the person who is creating this campaign.
Absolutely.
We are just supporting them, and we are amplifying by putting different advertising in different network, so the campaign and the voice are heard. That's the most important thing.
Very good, very good. So you bring some sophistication to identifying ways to use advertising on Facebook and other social media platforms then. Is that kind of the idea?
Absolutely.
Yes,
so absolutely. And some people actually teach us, just to be very open. I mean, in some of the campaigns that we are working, we are actually learning from the campaigners, where the teams are so sophisticated. They have been working with each other for a while, and we just feel blessed to have an opportunity to work with them. And an excellent example will be Darpana by Dr. Sarabhai and her team with Kelly and Yadavan. I mean, they are just amazing. I mean, the work that they do is their life's work. They believe that women's rights are important, and yeah, we need to make sure that everyone is blessed with. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, good. Now, let's talk a little bit about the international aspects of this. Of course, you're talking to us from Lausanne, Switzerland. I'm guessing that neither of you were born there, but that may be wrong. You bring there's an obvious international feel to it already, but talk a little bit about how you view this international platform working on a global basis.
Okay, so Jeannine is, she, as you can see, is ethnically, she's ethnic Chinese and born in France. And we met in Washington, D.C. And I studied at University of Southern California, and before that at London Business School. And Jeannine studied at Brunel University and Aix-Marseille III, the third, Aix-Marseille the third. So we studied internationally, and then Jeannine worked at EPFL, which is like MIT.
It's the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology, but also both of us work in the corporate. We have experience in different countries around the world, and we decided to settle down in Switzerland. We work also for major corporations. And then what we discover is that, you see, some of the organizations, they have a good cause, but they need this polishing, this international touch, where we actually present the same issue, the same problem to a larger audience. So there are some taboo that in some country we cannot talk about it. So we soften some of the aspects, but the core idea is the same internationally, and that's what we provide.
Yeah.
It's really exciting to think about globalizing crowdfunding. So will you work with entrepreneurs and funders around the world, or just with funders around the world and entrepreneurs in a smaller area?
Exactly. I mean, Devin, that's exactly the point. It's to work with everyone, everywhere. And if you look at when we were in the US, we found that the people on an average just happen to be very internet savvy. And as an American, you tend to be natural marketers, natural leaders. And if you look at the Indian market, just to give you an example, my mother, she just retired recently as the chief medical officer. For her, email used to come printed on a tray. Okay, the idea of the computer was something that someone outside the office does. So there's a whole department which takes care of that. She is supposed to make decisions, and then it's somehow implemented by a staff. So a lot of senior leaders in India and Asia, they are not hands-on, but that does not mean they're not passionate about changing lives or about doing good. So what they need is almost a concierge service, someone who can provide a service to them to support them manage their campaigns. At the same time, they have an idea of how much they want to pay. In other words, they don't want to pay money till they have some rewards. So there is a clear fit between what we are providing them and what they want. They want someone to manage their global campaigns who has worked as a team for 25 years around the world, has studied around the world, has managed more than 1,000 campaigns. So we bring our experience and we serve them and we work for them to meet their goals. And in the process, sometimes we have an opportunity to contribute. Sometimes, and most of the times, we have an opportunity to learn from filmmakers, from social activists, from entrepreneurs, from artists. And these are people we have been fans of music and film for all our lives. And now we get to work with our idols. And that is just truly satisfying. I mean, to work with people that you have seen on television all your life, and then you get to talk to them, it's just amazing.
That is fun. That is fun. Well, where is the best way for someone to begin the process of raising money on Fairfundr? How do they get started?
Well, they go on the website, Fairfundr.com, they create an account, and then after they can submit their project. And then we contact them, we work with them to understand the content and the scoping of the project. And then after, once the campaign is totally done, we publish it.
Fantastic. And help us again walk through the kinds of people that you would most want to serve on the site, so that people know whether Fairfundr is the right site for them.
Sure. So there are two types of people. The first type is made up of artists. So these are music artists who clearly have a very informed view of their fans. So they have, let's say, 1 million fans or 50,000 or 100,000 fans. They have a very informed view of their brand. They know who they are, right? And they have a very clear view of their project. Okay, so these folks really don't need a lot of hand-holding. What they are looking for is the most efficient platform, because they are doing the heavy lifting themselves. So they just want to make sure that they don't end up giving 10% of $1 million, which is $100,000, to someone for providing them a website or a web page on a website. Okay, so they pretty much do the whole thing, and we just make sure that our partners like IBM, the Swiss government, different bodies which are supporting us with advice, with also marketing support, and Stripe, our payment partner, that we sort of manage the whole thing together with our development team to make sure that their campaign is running smoothly, right? And we are able to give them any advice if they need. The second group is made up of what Jeannine described, people who are looking at this as the first time. They have heard about crowdfunding, they have done campaigns before, but they have not done anything like this before. And this is the crowd that requires a lot of hand-holding.
Yeah, what happened?
Okay, we are back.
Okay, Rajiv, we're back. I'm so sorry for this glitch. You
No,
were
that's
talking
okay.
about the people who are well established, know their market, ready to go, and they want an efficient platform. Are there other groups that should be?
Yeah, so the
your
second
platform
group
as
is
well?
what Jeannine described as the group which is very informed about doing a campaign offline and perhaps doing a campaign on different social media platform, whether you get some points of appreciation or some thumbs up signs, but that's pretty much it. You don't get anything else. It's good for your ego, but it doesn't help you get your project, off the ground. So these are the folks who want to create a campaign, launch a campaign, and they want the campaign to be promoted, and they do need a lot of hand holding. So there we have to go and do pretty much a lot of work. And that work is not doing the work for them. It's to make sure that they are able to start a campaign, manage a campaign, and just promote their brand. And that happens very quickly because these are masters of their field. So they are very able students. And it's a very gratifying process that within a few minutes you see them teaching us how to do things.
Oh, that's great. Well, Jeannine and Rajiv, I thank you very much for your time today. Remind people how they can get in touch, the URL, the Twitter handle. How do people engage with you?
Yeah, so
So they go on the website www.fairfundr.com.
Very good. How do you spell Fairfundr?
so it's FAIRFUNDR. So you drop the E. And in case you do put the E, you will still come on our website. So we have different ways of getting you to our website.
Okay, good. Fantastic. Well, again, thank you very much for being with us today. We appreciate your time and wish you every success.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All righty. Let's do some good.
Thanks.